What's up, guys? This is Austin again, otherwise known as the Thelostcausekid, and I am here with the next part in our Dark Souls 3 playthrough. In last video, we kind of did the tutorial area and made our way past Udix Gundyr to the Firelink Shrine. We did a little tour of the shrine and leveled up a little bit. I actually forgot to use my starting gift, so for a little extra boost to my souls.
Ashen One, produce the coiled sword at the bonfire. The mark to Loth. Very well.
Level up one or two more times.
Then touch the dark hignob.
So just one. Alright.
Farewell, Ashen One. May the...
Alright, here we go. Into the first proper area, the High Wall of Lothric. Plan is to get through this first area and at least get up to the boss of the area. I don't know if we'll be able to do the boss in this episode. We'll just kind of have to see where we're at on time. But it's a pretty interesting area. It's got a nice view of future areas that you come to later. So these buildings in the background are actually places that we're going to go later on in the game. One of the final bosses is actually at the top of that building in front of us. And I believe that's the library that we go through before we get to him. So that's kind of cool. Once again, you're going to see a lot of these people that are either trees grew around them or they turned into trees. I'm not sure exactly what the deal is going on there, but that is a theme of this game. There's a guy chilling here, a little archer. Dang it! I just healed again. Oh my gosh. Again, I still gotta get used to all of these controls. I've not played in a while. Like I said in the episode before, been playing first-person shooters, so the controls are very different. So, this area is kind of tricky. It's well guarded, and there's these two dogs patrolling. And then two big axe guys. That'll come later. Just gotta be patient, take it slow. Where's that axe guy? Way down there. Where is he? There he is. Just waiting to ambush us. Yeah, so there's a lot of ambushes in this game, but if you know, once you know where they're at, you can deal with them pretty easily. Just the first time going through these areas, you'll get surprise attacked a lot. Whoa. There's a guy up here that's going to transform into a pus of man, and you want to take him out before he can do it. That guy right there. If you don't kill him, he'll transform into the thing that grew out of the back of Thelostcausekid when we fought him. And they're difficult to deal with, so you wanna try to take them out before they can transform. Some free souls here. These guys don't attack you. So we just got a bow, which is very useful for singling out targets and trying to aggro them one at a time. It's got a dex requirement of 14, so we can't use it yet until we put 2 more points into dexterity, but that's okay. It's just a good tool to have so that you don't have to fight a bunch of enemies at the same time. Okay, there's a guy there. Damn it. So, this guy with the lantern you gotta try to kill quick, because it's kind of like an alarm in the area. Gonna be coming up on a bonfire here in a minute. A lot of these guys are positioned so that if you don't kill this guy with the lantern in time, they'll spring out at you. But once you get that guy, they're kind of... Ooh, did not react in time to that. But once you clear that guy out, they just kind of sit around until you kill them. So these binoculars are cool. I'll show you what you use them for. Just help see things in the distance a little bit better. So doesn't give you a lot of zoom, but it gives you a little bit, kind of see some detail. Places you might be going, places you might have come from. It's just fun to use those every now and then. Gold pine resin. Let's look at that. Rare pine resin, which emits golden sparks. Chunks of it are even rarer. Temporarily applies lightning to right-handed weapon. So you use this and it puts a lightning damage onto your weapon. Its origins are unknown, although some have speculated that it may in fact be a type of fungal resin. There's guy behind these boxes just waiting to ambush you. Kind of see that way. It's blocked off, but there's people there. You kind of see a place that you're going to be in a minute. This is difficult without a bow, trying to manage these guys. Easier with a shield, so. Ow. Whoa, dragon. Dragon does the work for you. This area would be a lot harder without the dragon. So he takes all these guys out, and we just run through. Not messing around with that dragon right now. So we're just going to run to the next bonfire. I'm not going to mess with the enemies here. Especially that guy in front of us. He's a pain to deal with. But we'll get him here in a second. I just want to get the bonfire first. Right up here, and there is our bonfire. Checkpoint. You can actually, if you have a bow, there's a place you can stand at the bottom of the steps where the dragon's fire won't get to you. And you can just shoot, I don't know if I think it's like 70 arrows at him. And eventually, once he gets down to a certain point of his health, he'll just fly away, and you actually get some upgrade material for it. But as of right now, we're not gonna do that. Because it takes a lot of time. Alright, clear these guys out. Then get this Lothric Knight, is what the enemy is called, to come back up, and we will duel him. This is one of the more, this is kind of like an end game enemy. You see a lot of these before the last boss. But they hit hard and they're quick. Oops, wrong button. But if you keep your shield up. Oh, frick. That was a hard hit. Stay away whenever they pull their sword up like that. Two hands. A shield bash. Those are annoying. Alright, backstab him. Yeah, so a backstab is the easiest way to damage these guys if you can get behind them. You just gotta be careful, because those swings are fast and hard. And when he shield bashes, it sucks. So, just be careful. You can handle these guys pretty easily. Alright. Now, kill this guy. Where's his buddy? Oh, he's under here under the table. Freaking sneaky. So we're moving right along. Like I said, this first area, once you know where all the ambushes are, it's pretty straightforward. There's nothing too bad in it. There's a pretty difficult spot coming up that I struggle with all the time, so we'll see how that goes. Check out this ambush here. You see that guy behind these barrels? He goes. Frick, he didn't do it. Still didn't do it. He's supposed to throw a firebomb. Whatever, I can't get him to do it. But yeah, there's the firebomb. Throws a firebomb at these barrels, and they are explosive barrels, so it'll pretty much kill you if you get caught by it. Mail breaker. Let's look at that. A small sword made for thrusting attacks. This hard, edgeless sword can pierce through tough armor and boast a deadly critical attack. I don't like the mail breaker, so I'm not going to use it. I don't think it's very good, but it's a dex weapon, so it wouldn't really help our build anyway, since we're running a strength build. Alright, so we've got a new NPC here that we can't get to right now. He is in a cell and it is locked, but we will come back for him once we find the key. Which, unfortunately, is in the really difficult area that I just talked about. We got another little ambush waiting for us here. This guy. See ya. And this guy on the ladder. So the idea is this guy on the ladder comes up, you're focused on him, and then the guy climbs over the wall and gets a backstab on you. Oops, an item down here. So those souls of a deserted corpse, fading souls that I find, consume them for more souls. Those don't give you very many, so they're not that helpful. But if you're, you know, a couple hundred souls shy of buying something, you could pop a few of those and get enough to buy it. So this is another one of those Pus of Man attacks. I want to show it to you guys, so I'm just going to let it proc and then try to fight them heads up. We'll see how it goes. This is kind of tough terrain to fight him on. But you'll see him. There he goes. They are susceptible to fire attacks. Shit. Yeah, I can't see. Yeah, I couldn't see, and I got stun locked, so there was literally nothing I could do there. Besides not get hit the first time, but just couldn't see where I was. So I don't like fighting those things. I'll show you what happens when you hit them with a firebomb. Since we've got 10 of them, and I don't use them that much, so. Alright, let's try this again. So you see this little green blood stain down there. Yeah, I have to pick that up to get my souls back. So that's what we'll do. And I'll equip a firebomb. Let this guy spawn again. And throw it at him. Freak out, kill these guys. Alright, so hit him with a firebomb. And freak out. You can get in a couple hits that way. But you gotta be careful because they really freak out. Damn it. We're gonna have to do this again. I can't take on the next area with this view. I need more Estus for the next area because I struggle with it. So do that, and then I will. It's a crystal lizard down here. Crystal lizards give you certain kind of gems that you use to change your weapon infusion. Oh shit! There he goes. I'm gonna go off the edge. Damn it. Okay. Still got it when he goes off the edge, but yeah, they'll disappear if you don't kill them quick. So he dropped a raw gem, which I can take to Andre, our blacksmith, and it removes all scaling from the weapon, which, let me show you. This longsword, the scaling is underneath the attribute bonus. This longsword has descaling in strength and dexterity, so the scaling goes from S, A, B, C, D, and there might be an F, but basically the better the letter grade, the more the item's damage will scale based on that stat. So what raw gem does is take away all the scaling and then give it a base damage increase. So it's good for, it gives a pretty big increase, and it's good for early game. So I could take this longsword, remove all the scaling, and get a pretty decent damage increase. But as far as late game goes, it's kind of takes away the point of leveling your character, because as you start to level up those stats and you start to find weapons with B and A scaling, that's where you're really going to see a lot of damage from your weapons. So people will run like level 1 characters where they're not leveling anything up, and that's where the raw scaling would really come in handy, because you're not going to be leveling up any stats, so scaling's not really going to help. Me, I've never tried a level 1 run. Probably never will, and I just healed on accident. Damn it. Oh well, we'll give it a shot. It's like, I hate wasting Estus before hard parts. Precious, precious Estus. Yeah, there's all kinds of infusions. Fire, poison, lightning. And you can turn weapons into strength weapons and dexterity weapons. So there's a lot of build variety, which is one of the one of the points of this game. Yeah, so you just run up to that guy and kill him, and you don't gotta mess with it. Alright. I hate this part so much. Oh, this ambush sucks. I should have swung and knocked that guy off. I'm gonna get stunned. I hate that. Oh, I got some Estus back. Every now and then, I don't know what the flag is or what you have to do, but you'll get it'll randomly give you another Estus charge. I'm sure somebody's figured out what it is. I don't know what it is, but it can be useful. So this is a difficult spot too. You're gonna have another Lothric Knight, but this time he's gonna be a shielded knight. Or I'm sorry, he's gonna have a spear. And we're in a much smaller area. So it's hard to avoid his attacks. But we'll give it a shot. Jesus Christ. That shield bash, I hate it. He does it so much. And then he has a charge that he likes to do, so that was really easy. But sometimes they'll do this charge where they run at you and then they'll stick their spear out, and feels like you'll be across the room and he'll hit you and throw you into the air. Alright, so this area isn't hard, it's just kind of... it's just difficult. I said it's not hard, it's just difficult. It's not difficult, you just gotta know how to draw enemies out. So if you just run down into this room here, you're gonna get ambushed and get your shit wrecked, but if you know how to draw enemies out one at a time, it's pretty easy. Green Blossom, so what that does, it improves your stamina recovery. So that's useful in boss battles whenever you don't want to have to worry about running out of stamina as much. You still got to keep an eye on it. Broadsword. I think we use this. Let me look at the... Yeah, so this kind of shows you why scaling's important. So the longsword does 110 base damage, but with its D scaling in strength, it adds 18, so it's doing a total of 128 damage. The broadsword has a higher base damage of 117 already, and then the C scaling gives it plus 19 damage, so we are at 131. Is that right? 136, sorry. 136 damage right there. So quite a bit of a damage boost, so we'll definitely go with that. Oh, I forgot, there's a firebomb throwing guy over here that you gotta take out. How do I get to him? Oh, I gotta go down and over. Ooh. And we have our first chest. Try not to hit the chest. That guy's in a dangerous spot, because if you hit this chest and break it, you get nothing. So we've got a shield. Silver Kite Eagle Shield. I don't think this one's better. No, it's worse overall. It's heavier, and it has worse elemental resistance. So, let me read the description. Orthodox metal shield engraved with a crest depicting a silver eagle. Medium shields are the most average of shields, providing a practical balance of damage absorption, stability, and weight. So, no lore there, unfortunately. Alright. So we're doing pretty well. I had to fight that Pussa man, so unfortunately we've got a death on the card already, but it's okay. So you'll see there's a dog patrolling, a giant axe guy, two giant axe guys, and then another spear guy. And then there's actually a dog at the bottom of the stairs there. This guy's gotta see me soon. Come on. There he goes. So I just kind of go down the stairs and try to draw them up one at a time. I want to equip some throwing knives. I think I picked some of those up. Throwing knives are very useful for clearing areas out, drawing people in. And if you're running dex, they actually scale with your dex ability, stat, so you can do pretty good chunks of damage with the throwing knife. Oh, come on. One of you guys have gotta... There we go. I recommend fighting everything one-on-one. Game's hard enough without trying to fight 4 or 5 enemies at the same time. I guess now's as good a time as any to welcome everybody to this channel. I started... I think the general idea of this channel is just to play video games. I have a bunch of games in my backlog that I just haven't had time to play yet. So the idea is to get some people watching these playthroughs of these games and give me some sort of accountability to finish those games if people are watching them and expecting me to release videos. So that's my goal, and I just want to have fun while doing it. I love video games, and I love talking about video games, so what better way to do that than with a YouTube channel where anybody can just join in and, you know, catch a few hours of a game they might be interested in playing, or a game that they are really fond of or just have opinions on. So that's the general idea. Thanks to everyone who's already watched some of it. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these videos. That way you don't have to just stumble across them. It'll let you know when I post new ones. But again, thank you to everyone who's taken the time to watch these. Alright, so we just picked up a couple of important items here. Let's look at this key. Cell key. So it's going to open a cell of some kind. I think we were just there earlier. Key to a cell holding thieves and the like. There is no shortage of brash thieves in Lothric, and these particular thieves likely scaled the wall from the undead settlement. But they are only willing to practice their thievery on the high wall, for their fear of Lothric Castle, rumored to devour men, keeps them clear of its grounds. So these thieves will climb the walls and pillage these areas, but they stay as far away as they can from the castle, which is interesting. And knowing what I know about the castle later on in the game, I wouldn't want to go there either. So, oh, and we got an Estus shard. A shard soaked in Estus. Give to the blacksmith at the shrine to increase the usages of the Estus flask. In the old days, it was rare to see an Estus flask far from its owners, but this shard offers hope, however shattered. So I give this to Andre, and I can use my Estus more. So that's probably the most valuable thing you can find in this game. I think you can get a total of 15 heals once you find all the shards. Yeah, this next area is another sticking point. But yeah, that was the hardest part of this area. Because the next part that's kind of the hardest, you don't actually have to do. You don't have to fight this guy coming up, but he's kind of fun to fight. We'll see if we can beat him our first try. He does this weird fucking spin. I think it's so funny that you can backstab this guy. And he also has a lightning attack, which... Whoop, gotta move. Fuck, I just got stuck down here. Oh, God. Yeah, he's got this move. That sucks, too. Yeah, it's kind of goofy that you can backstab them, but I'll take it. And he drops nothing, ever. He never drops anything. Waste of time. Not really, because he's a fun fight. Ember. Those embers, I could pop one right now, but you'll notice that the fire that was around my character earlier is gone, and that's because I died, and I lost the health boost that you get from being, I don't know what the term is right now for some reason, but like imbued with fire. So if you pop one of those embers, you get a health boost, and you can summon help into your world, but you can also be invaded by other players. To be embered, you either have to pop one of those embers or defeat a boss. Whether in your world, yeah, it has to be in your world. You can help people. Oh, I need to pay attention. You can help people in their world and get an ember. That's what it is. If you're out of embers. Very nice. To heal up. I'm going to open up a shortcut here in a second, which makes the run to the boss a lot easier, so you don't have to do all this again. But first, get a cool little ring here. The Ring of Sacrifice. Where you at? This mystical ring was created in a sacrificial rite of Velka, the goddess of sin. Its wearer will lose nothing upon death, but the ring itself breaks. A sacrifice is only worth as much as the life it spares. So that ring, if you are wearing that ring and you die, you don't lose your souls. But it breaks after you use it. So you can only use it once. I think there might be 3 or 4 that you can find in the game, which is generous, because there were only 2 in Dark Souls 1 in the main game. You could play New Game Plus and get more, because you can pick up all the items again in New Game Plus. These guys kind of suck. See? They suck. If you can't isolate them correctly, they will wreck your shit. We're getting close to the boss. I'm gonna open up this shortcut and run down to Emma, the priestess. And then we will be outside the boss's gate, which I'm gonna save the actual boss fight for the next episode, because we are running short on time. That was weird. I just had a weird power issue, so there's probably going to be a issue with the editing, and I just got destroyed by that guy. Good lord. Anyway, we just opened up the shortcut And now, I just gotta take this guy down. I might as well run to the campfire, but this takes you out to where the dogs were patrolling. It gives you a little shortcut to the boss. If you're having trouble defeating him, you just have to be careful coming up here because of that guy. Anyway, we are rounding the edge of the video here. Ooh. The other dogs were down there. Alright, so we're good. Yeah, the just lost power to the system for some reason, and kind of threw off my momentum, but it's alright. We're back at it. No worse for wear. So we are going to take this shortcut down to where we were. Shouldn't have to fight all of these guys on the way back. This guy's got a lot of health. We're definitely not going to do the boss in this episode. That's going to be in the next episode. I'm just going to run through this. It's just a couple difficult enemies that we'll have to get through. Then we'll be kind of home free. I want to make sure that ambush doesn't follow you down, so we're good. It's gonna be 2 Lothric Knights that we have to fight here. It's another shield guy, or a spear guy. They all have shields. There's actually a summon that you can bring up to help you deal with these guys and the next boss, but we shouldn't need him for that. Ah, I missed the backstab. That's the charge that you gotta watch out for. If you would have hit me with that last one, it would have staggered me and kind of messed up what we were trying to do. You get staggered by these guys, you're pretty much dead. Ooh, that armor's for sure gonna have some backstory, so let's look at that. Lothric Knight armor. Armor of a celebrated Lothric Knight. The code of distinction is all but fallen apart. The knight has served as one of the 3 pillars since ancient times, and shares place alongside the wyverns as a symbol of Lothric. Only those possessing a knight's resolve are fit to wear this garment. So they're kind of royalty in Lothric, and they're protectors of Lothric, and that's kind of what they're still doing. They're still just kind of patrolling and protecting the city, but obviously they are more undead than anything. Swings of that sword have like a 360 reach, so it's hard to get behind its swings. And that damn shield bash. Alright. So now the way is pretty much open to the final boss. Here is an interesting NPC, mostly due to the fact that there's so little about her story. This is Emma.
Ah, the wait has been long, unkindled one. I am Emma, High Priestess of Lothric Castle. Allow me to speak frankly. You will not find the Lords of Cinder here. They have left, gone, to their churning homes converging at the base of this castle. Head to the bottom of the high wall, forge on through the great gate, and raise this banner to proceed. This farewell gift is for you. It is the insignia of an old covenant. If you fear trespassers, dark spirits drawn by the embers, then etch this upon your heart, and the old Concord will beckon noble blue sentinels to hunt these foul spirits. Unkindled one, head to the high wall's base. Go through the great gate and raise this banner to proceed. But beware, the dog keeps a close eye on things. The vile watchdog of the Boreal Valley. Unkindled one, go through but be the
Okay, so she didn't really tell us anything we didn't know other than that we need to go the other way. So this ladder above her, she's kind of blocking the way to Lothric Castle. And she's saying the Lords of Cinder are not here. They've kind of deserted the castle and gone to their own, either their own lands or, back to their homes, essentially. And tells us to go the other way. And she gives us this banner to raise at the gate to proceed. So we'll look at that. The small Lothric banner. Small banner held by Lothric messengers. Hold up outside the main castle gate to be greeted by an escort. When the high wall appeared, the path to the undead settlement was blocked, and messengers came bearing this banner. They were sent out with a duty, but had no way of returning. So it's kind of a sad story about the messengers who were stuck outside the walls when the undead plague hit. And she also gave us a covenant item. The Way of Blue. Pale blue sheepskin parchment featuring an illustration of the moon, symbol of an ancient accord. Members of the Way of Blue are the beneficiaries of an ancient accord. When a dark spirit threatens them, a blue spirit will grant them assistance and help to root out the invader. Summoning takes place automatically while this is equipped. So this is a covenant item. You can equip this item in your covenant slot right here. And with this equipped, if I am invaded by a player, it will try to summon a blue sentinel. I don't know. They're not called blue sentinels, I don't think. That's the Dark Souls 2 term. Someone from the Way of Blue to assist me. A blue phantom. It's just a way to help out new players from being invaded too much, because they might not be as good in the combat as the invaders would be. But she kind of told us about the next boss, who is Vort of the Boreal Valley. We won't really learn too much about him until later on in the game. But we are about to fight him. Now this guy... I'm going to try to tackle this guy before we're done, because he can be a pain. He imbues his sword. These Red-Eye Knights are difficult. Oh god. I thought I had that backstab. Come on. Dang it. Keep missing the backstab. How did I miss that? I can't really absorb any hits from him because it just drains my stamina. Oh god. What? He just like stabbed me on top of the head with his shield. Oh man. Oh god, get out of here. Oh god, I can't believe I survived that. Move! Caught him on the stairs. Charging R1. Got him. Refined gem. I can't remember what the refined gem does. Infused to create refined weapon. A gem of infused titanite forged the weapons of Lothric knights. Used in infusion to create refined weapons. Refined weapons are difficult to wield properly and scale effectively with strength and dexterity. So, I guess that it's kind of a mix between strength and dexterity, because I know heavy gems are for strength and sharp gems are for dexterity, so I guess that just kind of gives you both if you're running both stats. We're not going to mess with that guy up there, we're just going to head to the boss door. These two guys. Oh no, I forgot about this guy over here. That guy will get up and shoot at you. Stupid shields. Alright. So here we are at the entrance to the boss fight. We're going to call it a day right now. We'll do the boss fight in the next episode. But thanks for tuning in. Make sure that you give this video a like if you enjoyed it or found it informative in any way. Subscribe to the channel just so that you know when I put up the next part to this playthrough and you don't have to worry about stumbling back across it. But until next time, thanks for watching, you guys.